Right behind him now, just a couple of car lengths back, is Bobby Hutchins. And both Myers and Hutchins have the same engine builder, spinning Clendenin. This ought to be quite a shootout.
And Hutchins came in, has a little bit fresher tires than does Gary Myers. But both of them have been out there quite a while on those tires, but they should be able to go to the end of the race, I would think.
One car nearly spinning just a moment ago. That was Billy Middleton. He gathers it back in. He lost a couple of spots, but the battle is up front. There's the 45 car to left of your screen, very high. Here's the 07 of Fleming, but here's the battle for first and second spot. Gary Myers in the car number 4, and Bobby Hutchins. He is the team engineer for Richard Childress Racing and Dale Earnhardt.
Jerry, I think the situation is that Bobby Hutchins lost a lap in the pits as well, and he's trying to get back on the lead lap. According to the scoring here, he's being shown as a lap down. We understand that the Billy Middleton car has a tire going down. That was maybe the reason that he got out of shape there a moment ago. So we'll check on that scoring, but now they're showing him in second place. So just momentarily there for about 3 or 4 laps, they were showing Hutchins as a lap down, and I thought, well, I didn't see him lose a lap in the pits, but maybe he did.
He pitted and changed 3 tires under the caution a couple of times ago and did not lose a lap, but they have that corrected, and now he's being shown in second position. Here's Paul Spencer, who we are told did indeed lose a lap, changing that right front tire under the previous caution flag.
Well, we saw him before we went to the break, Spencer coming in with the flat tire, and he had to go around the track very slow until they got in. They got the jack under and everything. He just they simply couldn't get it changed before they got back around, so he did lose a lap.
Whoa, and Hutchins loops it around sideways, tags the inside wall, caution being displayed to the field, and the car just getting out from under him, coming out of turn 4. The caution flag for the 5th time today, and he will not lose a lap as the car rolls back toward turn 1, but a scary moment for Bobby Hutchins.
Well, that was a long, wild slide down through there, but again, I don't think he hit the wall too hard. He's sort of checking his steering and everything to see if it's okay, and the crew looking things over as well. Now, there are only 6 cars in the lead lap right now, so the worst he'll do is drop from 2nd back to 6th if he can continue in a competitive manner. Let's see, he just looks like the back end just got out from under and he couldn't get it corrected, Jerry, as he came off of turn 4.
Car just looped around off turn 4, and now Bobby Hutchins comes down and gets service from the crew chief, his dad, Robert Bud Hutchins Sr., as the crew now puts the car on the jack. As we are under caution here for the 5th time today in the NASCAR Modified Division Lowe's 150. Back with more from North Wilkesboro in just a moment.
Most of our customers come to AutoZone for low prices and for parts they can replace themselves. But many people come because we speak their language. Things like duration and lift and compression ratios, stuff like that. Because a guy who's going to rebuild an engine, he won't buy parts from just anybody. And since AutoZone stocks complete engines, we know what makes them tick inside and out. Sure, we sell our best parts at our best prices every day. But if we know something that's going to help you do the job right, you get that free.
Thank you. Pull around.
Thank you.
Paul Conklin, call the Big L93. In the next 93 seconds, you'll be today's big winner.
I need a phone.
Hello, where are you, Paul?
I'm coming.
Because what you want is lunch in minutes. Our crew really hustles for you. So now, what you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
Paul, you still have 24 seconds. Call, babe.
This would take a minute.
Hey, Paul, you out there, buddy?
In America, your car is not just something you own. It's a part of your life. To give your car complete protection, Texaco has developed Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. With not one, but 3 kinds of protection against heat stress, starting friction, and engine dirt. Haviland Formula 3. Add more life to your car.
The new G-Series with 4-wheel steering from Kubota.
Back at North Wilkesboro Speedway, still under caution here, as our leader still is Gary Myers. Lots of action yet to come your way today on ESPN. Legends of the Brickyard coming up at 2:30 p.m. Firestone Indy Lights Championship competition at 3 p.m. The Horse Show jumping at 3:30. Budweiser Racing Across America, 5 p.m. United Van Lines Aces Championship, 6 p.m. And Sports Center coming up at 7 p.m. Tonight, Speed Week, 7:30. Don't want to miss that one. All about racing action. Don Garlett's Hall of Fame, 8 o'clock. Legends of the Brickyard at 8:30. Top Rank Boxing, 9 p.m. Pugilism, baseball tonight at 11 o'clock. And we end it all with Sports Center coming up at 11:30 p.m. and all the scores and highlights of everything today in sporting events. Getting back to more green flag racing, lap 118 and 150, which comprise this NASCAR modified event.
Gary Myers still the leader, but that car on the outside is Frank Fleming. He is running in second place now, trying to move up. He wants a piece of the lead. He's got to get around the car number 75, which is Robert Jeffries. Jeffries is being shown in the 8th position, 1 lap down.
And Fleming will make the move into the second position. Myers is the leader. Gary Myers out of Walnut Cove, North Carolina. Frank Fleming in the car number 07, started back in 13th. He is out of Mount Airy, North Carolina.
Wow, look at him move in on the outside, similar to the way Al Hill made a pass a little while ago. And he gets a little too high, breaks traction, and loses the position. But here he comes back again. He's not giving up, not for a moment.
Neither's Robert Jeffries in the car number 75. He's a lap down, but he's trying, whoa, in trouble. We have a couple of cars involved. Looks like Bobby Hutchins is one of the cars. He spins, and whoa, nearly gets tagged from behind. 2 other cars involved. The 66. That is Phillip Hill, the Jonesville, North Carolina driver.
Well, here's what started. Bobby Hutchins ran up on the car number 78. Is that 78? I guess it was the 79 car, maybe of Roger Hill. But anyway, they tapped him, and that's what caused the problem going into the turn.
And the lap before, there was a bump here, a couple of bumps.
That's up front.
Up front is those 3 cars. That's Jeffries on the inside, and the 07 of Fleming getting a little bit loose. Under caution for the 6th time today. NASCAR modified action. These cars, many of these drivers running every week at the Bowman Gray Stadium. The oldest and longest running, continuously run sanctioned NASCAR track in America. And boy, they put on some action there around that football field there at the stadium.
They do, and their season opens here very shortly at Bowman Gray Stadium in the next couple of weeks. In fact, May the 1st, when Bowman Gray opens. And Jerry, I think I said a moment ago that there are 6 cars in the lead lap. Actually, there are 7 cars after we straighten out the fact that Bobby Hutchins was still in the lead lap.
And we'll have green flag racing in another lap. Mentioned this track opened way back in 1947, North Wilkesboro Speedway. It was a dirt track back then. It was paved in 1957. Now in its 47th year of operation. So certainly our congratulations to Enix Staley and his fine staff here as they continue to add seats and bleachers here. And tomorrow, as you look back toward that turn 2, those seats will be stuffed full of race fans as they get ready to watch Winston Cup action, as we hope you'll be watching at home on ESPN as we're bringing that coverage of the Winston Cup event tomorrow.
And the man who won the first ever, what is now Winston Cup race, it was a Grand National back then, Jim Roper, will be the Grand Marshal for the event. I had an opportunity to chat with him yesterday. I'll tell you, it was a thrill for me to see him. I saw the race that he won. Okay, we're ready to race again here at North Wilkesboro right now.
124 laps, 26 remain as we get set for the final shootout here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. And Gary Myers in the car number 4 hold off the challenge from Frank Fleming as Fleming's in the 07, and now Myers gets passed by the car number 75, one of the lap cars. That's Robert Jeffries trying to get back in the lead lap, and now Myers holding the high groove. But the battle Myers has to worry about is the 07 car. That would be for the lead.
That's for position. Jeffries is running in the 8th position, trying to get back in the lead lap in case another caution comes out, so he'd have a shot at winning this thing. Gary Myers hanging tight up there on the outside. Frank Fleming had a notion to follow Jeffries, but he saw that maybe Jeffries was not going to be able to make the pass, so now he has moved back up to the outside with Myers. Myers clears Jeffries going into the turn. Running in third is Al Hill. In the fourth position is Junior Miller. And in fifth place is the Puddin Swisher car.
Good run for Puddin Swisher in the car number 47. That's the car owned by Gary Nelson out of Kernersville, North Carolina. Tight competition up front. Gary Myers in the car number 4.
Here comes Fleming up on the outside. He's going to try that move once again. He got up there one time and broke loose, but we got trouble. Somebody else has broke loose down in the turn.
That's Lee Jeffries in the car number 7 has looped it down in turn 1. As yet, no caution flag being shown. They come off turn 4, and now, yes, they will put the caution out and the pace car.
And I believe Frank Fleming got the lead as they came across the start-finish line. It was awfully close. Robert Jeffries was trying to get his lap back, but he just simply didn't have anywhere to go. The front two cars were running side by side, so he couldn't get on either side.
That's Lee Jeffries' car. Take a look at the right rear tire there. It's been cut down on the wheel. There's Gary Myers, that beautifully painted MLI Construction sponsored car. That's the Chevrolet. Strikingly familiar to a Saturn, but Saturns aren't legal, so that's a Chevrolet.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
And he will come down pit road. Gary Myers will bring that car down for a pit stop. We'll take a look and see what happens. I believe John Kernan is down there where they're getting ready to work on that car. John?
Well, it was a snap decision to bring him in. They felt that, you know, he was one of the earlier cars to pit in the race. They will change the rear tires only as they jack up the back of the car. That's Gary Beals, who's acting as the crew chief down here today. He's working the jack. Tires are going on, the lugs are going on. They're using those wide space lugs, unlike the tires with the close space pattern on the Winston Cup cars. So it takes a little bit longer. Plus, they don't have one of those special jacks, but they get both rear tires changed, and Gary Myers moves on.
Hey, pretty good pit stop.
Yeah, not a bad pit stop at all. I tell you, it's interesting. They only changed the rear tires. That points out the horsepower to weight ratio that they have and how much abuse the tires get.
I tell you, with all that horsepower and all that going to the rear tires, it certainly can take a beating. Talking about beating rear tires, look at Lee Jeffries again here producing this caution flag as he apparently cut the right rear tire.
Yeah, that right rear tire was flat when he went into the turn, spun down on the inside. Everybody got by on the outside. And here's the race back to the line, Jerry. We mentioned that Gary Myers and Frank Fleming were battling for the lead, and there's Robert Jeffries in the white car trying to get his lap back, but there was nowhere to go. But Frank Fleming just barely beats Gary Myers to the line.
So we're showing caution flag for the 7th time today while the safety crews pick up the car of Lee Jeffries. Our new leader, Frank Fleming. Back with more NASCAR Modified open wheel action after this.
Off the road, on the road. The Suzuki Dual Sport 350S. It's a vicious cycle.
Don't wait. Get the News Weekly of Motoring, Auto Week. Don't wait for driving impressions. Auto Week drives them all and tells you about them first. Don't wait for car news. Auto Week covers the world. Auto shows, the new, the old, and brings it to you fast. Don't wait for racing news. Get the News Weekly of Motoring. Auto Week brings you the winningest coverage first. Don't wait. Get Auto Week, the News Weekly of Motoring, now. Call 1-800-828-4100 for a full year. 52 issues at the special TV price of $19.95. Just 38 cents an issue. Save $80 off the cover price. You've thought about it. Stop waiting. Do it now. Call 1-800-828-4100 for the News Weekly of Motoring.
How far will your money go when buying a Dual Sport 350S? Introducing Suzuki Get On It Flexible Financing. Want to see it again? Other programs include 0 down, low monthly payments, and first-time buyer. Get on it.
Back with our Speed World coverage from North Wilkesboro Speedway, the Lowe's 150. Sean Kernan, Ned Jarrett, and yours truly, Jerry Punch. And you're wondering where Benny Parsons is. Our good buddy BP under the weather today. He'll be back in great tones, as always, tomorrow for our Winston Cup action.
Here, a couple other cars have have gone behind the wall now. Lanny Wilkins has taken the number 25 out with the oil pump belt. And number 66, Philip Hill, with the steering problem, is behind the wall. We're about set to go green flag racing again.
New Pontiac Trans Am safety car pulls off the racetrack, and Frank Fleming, 33-year-old driver from Mount Airy, will lead him into turn 1.
Al Hill is running second. Robert Jeffries, the white car, is in 8th place. He's 1 lap down.
And Robert Jeffries is strong. I mean, stout when he comes up that back straightaway. He can't quite hold it in the corners, and Junior Miller is trying to bob and weave between some heavy traffic. There's Al Hill in the car number 70.
Now they're showing the 75 car of Jeffries in the 7th position, 1 lap down.
There's Junior Miller in the orange, and white number 69. He's battling for the 2nd spot, while Jeffries trying to get the lap back. Miller now moves to the inside of Al Hill in the car number 70.
And there's Paul Spencer. He is in 8th position, 1 lap down. He moves on the inside of Al Hill.
Bobby Hutchins in the car number 14 to the right of your screen, trying to move underneath Al Hill. He is actually being shown in the 4th position.
Another car has gone behind the wall, and that is Billy Middleton with the steering problem. The rack and pinion steering is broken on his car.
The leader is the car number 07. The 75 car behind him is a lap down. Then comes the car number 69, who is actually in 2nd spot now. Behind him, the 71 car is a lap down.
Yeah, those two, looks like Robert Jeffries has slowed a little bit going into turn 3, whether he just dropped down to let Miller go or what the problem is. He was up there battling, trying to get his lap back, but now he's about to lose 7th position to Paul Spencer. Now, those cars running side by side, they are in the same lap with each other. They're battling for position there right now.
Robert Jeffries' car just not quite getting a hold of the racetrack coming out of turn 4. He will lose the spot away from the car number 71, Paul Spencer. Now, Junior Miller in the car number 69 is only about 4 car lengths back. And there is the field summary. Frank Fleming, our leader. Junior Miller in 2nd. Bobby Hutchins now has been back in the 3rd spot. Al Hill is 4th, and Gary Myers 5th.
Hutchins Swisher in 6th place. Spencer now has moved up to 7th, drops Jeffrey back to the 8th position. Now, those are the only 2 cars that are 1 lap down. Now, this front 2, Frank Fleming and Junior Miller, I understand there's no love lost between those 2 drivers. They're fierce competitors, hard chargers, both of them. They don't mind getting in there and mixing it up.
Now, they don't exchange Christmas cards. They have been fierce competitors on the short tracks for many years. This could be an exciting finish here as we are less than 10 laps to go at Wilkesboro Speedway. In fact, 8 to go that time by. 142 laps are complete. We are 8 laps away from the conclusion. Frank Fleming, a winner here.
Now, Gary Myers has moved back into 4th after making that pit stop, taking on fresh tires. He is perhaps the fastest car on the racetrack, but does he have time? You can see him coming into the picture back there. I don't think he has time to catch the front runners, but he is definitely gaining on them. Of course, if they race like this, here goes Miller down on the inside of Fleming going into the turn. They touch. Fleming goes high. Miller takes the lead.
Fleming hangs on to the race car, does not spin the car, but will lose the lead and possibly the win as Junior Miller, the 41-year-old driver, takes the Pontiac to the front.
And here is Paul Spencer trying to get back in the lead lap. Meanwhile, Gary Myers is gaining on all of them. Bobby Hutchins is in 3rd. It is Junior Miller out front. In 2nd place is Frank Fleming. Bobby Hutchins is 3rd. Gary Myers now has moved up to 4th. Al Hill is in the 5th position, and Puddin Swisher is 6th. Those 6 cars on the lead lap.
Laps counting down, 146 complete. It'll be 3 to go next time by. Junior Miller has never won at Wilkesboro Speedway. He is our current leader. He finished 2nd here in 1991, finished 4th here last year. Trying to hold on and get his first victory. Now the car behind him, now to the outside of him, is a lap down. That's Paul Spencer.
So he is working on him as if they were battling for the lead.
Battle for second spot heats up. That's the car number 14. Bobby Hutchins trying to move in on the 07 of Frank Fleming. Hutchins' car slips a little bit coming out of turn 4.
A lot of close racing and a little bit of beating and banging. Gary Myers now, you can see him in the bright car, number 4. Bobby Hutchins up on the outside, and Myers comes to the inside as they get the white flag. Myers takes over the 3rd position. Junior Miller has taken the white flag. 1 part of a lap to go.
Final lap, and Myers' car slides sideways. He spins a lot of smoke as Bobby Hutchins goes by. And out of turn 4, the caution flag and the checkered flag for Junior Miller. 41-year-old driver, Junior Miller, out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, the Don Spine Jewelers Pontiac. And he goes to victory lane for the 2nd time in 1993. 2nd win in a row. He won last week at Caraway Speedway in a 100-lap race there down here in Asheboro, North Carolina. And John Kernan is standing by with the happy crew chief, Jimmy Baker. John?
Well, Jimmy, you got a smile from ear to ear. That was great. You were telling me, though, with a couple laps ago, you said, we haven't won it yet. I'm not counting on anything.
We won championships 3 in a row. We've won every race everywhere except here. Hey, I got to thank all our sponsors, A&J Salvage, R&G Auto Sales, Don Fine Jewelers, Junior Miller Motors, the whole crew. Everybody done a fantastic job. And this is worth the championships. Well, we've been here for 17 years, and we've never won. This is it.
Well, we said it at the early part of the show that Junior would be a comer, and he'd move his way through the field. What type of strategy did you guys have today, in pitting for tires? That you made the right choices, obviously.
Well, we was wanting to do it on lap 100, somewhere close. And cost about 75 to go, and Junior, he made the call. He said, well, let's go ahead and do it now. We might not get no more. And I thought it was too early, but it worked good.
Well, sometimes the drivers do make the right decision. Jerry?
Indeed. You think this race isn't very special to those drivers and those crew members? He was very genuinely excited about winning a big race on national television. As we wait for the winner to go to victory lane, we'll take a quick break and come back and hear from Junior Miller.
I'm the mother of 3 growing boys who can sink a sub sandwich in 2 minutes and wipe out an entire wardrobe in a matter of days. I really have to watch the family budget. So, what sold me on a 93 Chevy Lumina was that I bought it at a 92 price. And that saved me around $1,900 over a Ford Taurus. Plus, the Lumina gives me lots of room and front-wheel drive. And the $1,900 I saved, whoa, that's a lot of subs.
Get a 93 Lumina at a 92 price. Hurry to your neighborhood Chevrolet dealer today.
You know, when you've got something to sell or something to tell, there's one thing that delivers.
Oh?
Local cable advertising. And no matter what your message, USA Network delivers with programs that deliver your customers. Get your local advertising message out on America's favorite cable network. Hey, you can be on USA.
Excitement on the ESPN. Rusty Wallace and Dale Earnhardt are engaged in an early season points battle. The stage is set, and the racers are ready for another afternoon of short track bump and run excitement. The First Union 400, tomorrow afternoon at 1 Eastern, live on ESPN.
The NASCAR Lowe's 150th history at Wilkesboro Speedway, and Junior Miller from Winston-Salem, North Carolina is on his way to victory lane. Frank Fleming finishes 2nd, Bobby Hutchins 3rd, Al Hill 4th, and Gary Myers 5th. Our Speedway coverage has been brought to you by the Kubota Tractor Corporation. Let's go down to victory lane and John Kernan.
Well, Junior, talking to Jimmy Baker, your crew chief, he said this is the biggest win you guys have ever had. You feel that way, too?
I tell you, we had an earning out there today. We started a little bit far back in a nice spot there. We stopped, put the 2 rear tires on it, tightened it up too much. We finally stopped, put that right front on. car went back to the front. It's a super run today. I'd like to thank the good Lord for a good, safe race. And this Don Fine Jewelers Pontiac come in victory lane. Beat that Hayes Jewelers today.
Now, you need to get a little more pumped up. This is victory lane in North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, it just tickles me to death. I don't know what to say, but I know we had a hard run to get there.
That's Junior Miller. He stayed out of trouble today, made the right decisions in the pits, and comes home the winner.
And the 41-year-old driver will take home the lion's share of the $17,800 purse up for grabs today, the Lowe's 150. Back with more from North Wilkesboro after this.
The other day I get in my car, won't start. No small problem, right? Well, I figure it's the battery, so I go down to the AutoZone and I tell him what I need. The guy says to me, let's check your old one first. It might not be the problem. Turns out he was right. All I needed was a new battery cable. Talk about saving money. Now you tell me, would another parts store done that? They made sure I got exactly what I needed. Now I'll remember that. Believe me, I will.
In America, your car doesn't just get you from here to there. It's a part of your life. To give your car complete protection, Texaco has developed Haviland Formula 3 motor oil with not one but 3 kinds of protection against heat stress, starting friction, and engine dirt. Haviland Formula 3. Add more life to your car.
In the war against termites, only one company has a weapon like this. The Exterminator, the Orkin Man. And now he's armed with the latest technology, the Orkin Foam System. Orkin Foam is the most effective termite treatment ever. Unlike other methods, it penetrates completely to stop termites cold, guaranteed. And only the Exterminator has it. The Orkin Man. One call destroys them all.
This week on Speed Week, a preview of the IndyCar Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, the first Union 400 from North Wilkesboro, and highlights of the Formula One Grand Prix of Europe. Speed Week tonight at 7:30 Eastern.
Back in North Wilkesboro Speedway, Junior Miller has won the NASCAR Modified Series event here in a wild scramble at the end. Frank Fleming finishes second. Bobby Hutchins, after a couple of problems early, comes back to finish third in that tribute to Jim Valvano car. Al Hill finishes in fourth, and Gary Myers is the 5th place finisher.
And in 6th place, also on the lead lap, Melvin Swisher. Paul Spencer was 7th, 1 lap down. Robert Jeffries a lap down in 8th place. Roger Hill came back after having a flat tire early and finished in the top 10 in 9th. And Jay Foley came home in 10th place.
Just missing the top 10, Chris Fleming in his first modified start ever finishes 11th. Kenny Minter in 12th. Tim Brown is 13th. Billy Middleton, who had tire troubles late in the race, was an early leader, finished 14th. And Lanny Wilkins finished 15th.
And 16th through 20th, Philip Hill, who had some problems, and Lee Jeffries got into the wall over there, and Philip Smith, who led the first 58 laps of this race and then had an engine problem. Randy Butner dropped out very early, and so did James Cole when he got into the wall early in the early laps of the race.
Well, NASCAR Modified racing today, but tomorrow the starting lineup will have this young man on the front row. It'll be the brothers Bodine, and Brett Bodine, the younger brother, just barely nipped his older brother Jeff for the pole position in the Quaker State Ford Thunderbird. And there's Jeff Bodine's Motorcraft Ford. He will start. It'll be an all Ford front row and all Bodine front row. And Brett Bodine has got to be excited about that qualifying run. I believe he is, John.
Well, Jerry, I talked to Brett yesterday after he waited for qualifying in for him to officially win the pole. And Brett, you were about as excited as a young person can get yesterday winning that pole.
Well, I'll tell you, it was a big event for our team, and we needed a boost. And just one of those deals that, look at this guy, hog it in. See, that's what he tried to do yesterday. Tried to hog in on that pole, but it's pretty neat being in the front row with him.
Now, first time in modern history, in the modern era, the two brothers have started on the front row. And Jeff, I mean, he's your little brother. Wasn't he supposed to let you have the pole?
Well, the way I look at it, he went out before I did, so I didn't beat him, so he should be, he should be happy with me, right? But hey, we're really proud of this. We've been trying to accomplish this all our careers.
We've never done it until yesterday, so Mom and Dad, get ready. It's going to be a wild start.
Now, both these guys have won races here, so it's a pretty good track for Jeff. You won that Monday race, caution-free last fall. Brett, you won your first career race here back in 1990. I know it was my first race with ESPN. I got to watch that from the pit, so you feel pretty good about this place, don't you?
Yeah, I really do. You know, like you said, both of us run well here, and it's just been a good track for both of us, and, you know, hopefully it'll be a good track on Sunday for us.
Now, I got to, who does Mom really like best? Jeff, how about Todd? Maybe Todd, but he's not here. We can go get him.
Yeah, he's not here to defend himself, so I guarantee you that the Bodine parents, Eli Bodine's going to be sitting up there watching this wild scramble net. It should be a great show. Now, Brett and Jeff on the front row. Row 2 has Ernie Irvin and Ken Schrader. Hutch Strickland, a good qualifying run in that McDonald's Ford. That's Junior Johnson's car, and you'll be able to see all the action coming your way tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Live flag-to-flag coverage of the First Union 400. Davey Allison, the defending champion here, and Davey Allison will start his car back in the pack. Back with more from Wilkesboro after this.
The Suzuki Chitana 600, easily identified flying object.
Hey, Mike, hand me my channel lock pliers.
Tommy, hand me that plier over there with the blue handles. What kind of pliers is that? These are channel lock tongue and groove pliers. My dad uses them on his race car, too.
For the tough jobs and the small jobs, reach for Channel Lock, the handiest plier of them all.
Hey, guys, anybody seen the channel lock pliers?
Channel Lock. Be sure you're getting genuine Channel Lock pliers. Look for this trademark.
How far will your money go when buying a Katana 600? Introducing Suzuki Get On It Flexible Financing. Want to see it again? Other programs include zero down, low monthly payments, and first-time buyer. Get on it.
Well, that trophy today has been presented to Junior Miller, winning the Lowe's 150. And we might mention the fact that the fastest car in tomorrow's field will start back in 21st spot. Dale Earnhardt has set a new track record.
Yeah, he didn't make the field yesterday when 20 positions were earned, but Earnhardt came back this morning with a vengeance and set a new track record. And there he is, getting ready for the final practice run here this afternoon. John Kernan, I'm sure he's pretty excited about his speed now.
Oh, you better believe it. You got to see this guy smiling. Dale, I got to ask you, I mean, the fastest lap, new track record, second round qualifying. Why couldn't you do it yesterday?
Well, we were off yesterday. We didn't get it really hooked up, and I feel like we'd have had a better bar, bigger bar in it yesterday. Would have been okay, but we fine-tuned it today. It was a little cooler, too, so I think the track was a little better. And finally broke Rusty's record. He's been standing for about, what, 4 or 5 years. Pretty neat.
Well, breaking Rusty's record, and it looks like you guys are going to be in one of those typical championship battles, and I know you guys really like mixing it up on the racetrack.
Well, we do. We've been talking back and forth all week about it, and we're having a good time. It's the kind of championship I'd like to see happen. Rusty's a great competitor to race with. He's a lot of fun to race with. He gets serious at times.
Now, you've always been the kind of guy that says, I'm going out, I'm going to win races. But now there's such an emphasis on the championship. Have you changed a little bit? Do you look more at getting those top 5 finishes than trying to go all out and win?
Well, you got to be in the top 5 to win races. So it's real competitive down here in Western Cup racing. And you got to be out there and be out front. Be one of the contenders to win races and you win that championship.
Well, guys, I guarantee you Dale Earnhardt will be a guy to be reckoned with tomorrow afternoon in the First Union 400. We're going to let him go now because they're getting the car fired up and getting ready to have Winston Cup practice.
John and Jerry, I think that's to the fans' advantage that he's qualified back in 21st position because we know what kind of excitement he can produce starting back in the field.
And so does this lady right here. She had, you don't no doubts who she's pulling for with that Earnhardt shirt on there. Young lady trying to get a glimpse of her favorite driver. She's peering toward the garage area. That's the view she has from the grandstands, saying, where is the Intimidator? I want to see him before he climbs in that race car. Tomorrow, Earnhardt will start 21st. You heard John Kernan say, but back there also will be Kyle Petty and Darrell Waltrip and Kenny Wallace. But what about the guy whose record was broken? That was Rusty Wallace. Let's check in with John Kernan.
Well, Rusty, Earnhardt breaks your qualifying record, but he does it in second round qualifying. Did you go over and talk to him about that?
Yeah, I went over and talked to him. I told him, I said, hey, I had a track record here to 1914 and he broke it. And I said, I'm not really liking that. He laughed about it. And
Now, he ran real good in second round. It looks like he's got his car figured out a lot better than it was yesterday. They really had it messed up, but they got it better today.
You know, take away Daytona, you're involved in that crash late in that race, and you guys have been just flat strong this year. What's the big difference?
Well, he's pretty committed, and I am too. And we're not losers, you know, we're winners. And we got tired of losing last year. We changed a lot of things in the shop. The guys are working harder. They got Andy Petrie on board, which probably helped them a little bit. And they're just really excited about what they're doing, and we are too.
I was looking over some records, and it looks like short track-wise on the races in Bristol, Martinsville, and here in North Wilkesboro, you may have a chance to take over the points lead. Have you figured that stuff up, or do you even concern yourself with that?
Well, I'm thinking championship, I got to tell you that. But I'm running as hard as I can run, and this is going to be a good race for Earnhardt and myself.
That's Rusty Wallace. He's looking forward to win tomorrow's race with another good run. Also looking forward to winning another championship.
And remember the pit stops they had at Bristol, Tennessee? That 16-second pit stop was an incredible stop. That pit stop, 4 tires in a little over 16 seconds, along with some other stops, allowed Rusty to really go to victory lane. And then this past week, we went down to their shop to try to find out the secret behind the speed. One of our producers, Pam Miller, and I went down there with the camera people and said, well, show us why you're so fast. I said, well, that's a secret. No, show us. They showed us, and we're going to show you tomorrow on our live coverage of the Winston Cup.
Good, I'm anxious to see it. Well, we see the Winston Cup cars coming out now, lining up, getting ready for their final hour of practice before tomorrow's First Union 400.
What a great show today. The Lowe's 150 NASCAR Open Wheel Modified Series action, but a lot to come your way tomorrow. Live flag-to-flag coverage, the First Union 400. $640,297 up for grabs. Davey Allison, the defending winner here of this 400-lap, 250-mile event at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Can Davey Allison do it again? Well, he's starting way back in the pack. His car starts in 27th spot. Once again, we congratulate the crew, the drivers, the effort put in today by one Junior Miller out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, the Don's Fine Jewelers Pontiac. For John Kernan and Ned Jarrett, I'm Jerry Punch, once again congratulating Junior Miller and saying so long from North Wilkesboro Speedway.